Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? As you noticed, I didn't have to flip the phone around because I have my new iPhone 12 and I'm shooting from the front of the camera instead of the back of the camera. So far I've really liked it. I've been waiting to get the 12. I've had I think I had the 11 or the 10. I can't remember which one. But the camera on that one was better on the back side. I think the 12 is a little bit better on the front side, so I'm gonna start shooting from the front. So anyway, my name is Kent and the channel is EOS San Diego, and Bitcoin is over 50,000. Bitcoin's become about as predictable as sunrise. It'll jump up, take a big jump, and I think one of the big investment companies, I just heard BlackRock or somebody, I don't know who it was, has decided to start putting money into Bitcoin. There's another big ETF up in Canada that's doing Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is really just taking over. I mean, people are trying to figure out what money is. That's the real problem. Nobody really knows what money is right now. We're kind of in this limbo as far as what is money. Is money paper? Is money digital? Is money gold? And everybody's split up about what money is. But basically what money is money something that you can use, something you can transfer, something that works in today's world. And in my mind, that has got to be digital. It can't be anything but digital. And in my mind, it has to be scarce, and it has to have some connection to the real world, which is Bitcoin, in the production of electricity to mine the coins. So Bitcoin is your perfect money, in my opinion, as perfect as it gets today. And that's the way it's finally going to end up being. So I want to talk a little bit about this tonight because it's a very interesting subject as far as where we're at, as far as where money is and what people think. So many people in my generation do not understand Bitcoin. They will never get Bitcoin, and it just isn't going to happen. So the people that have the money, the people that have accumulated money over a lifetime, won't be able to bridge the gap between what their mindset has taught them all their lives to think is valuable, to think now this, protocol running on computers around the world is taking the place of their local bank, or their daddy's coin collection, or the family farm. They just can't make that transfer of thought to what the world is today. And that's why I keep saying about this is basically you have to retrain your brain to get where we're at today. And I think there's a lot of brains being retrained right now, but the trend is definitely towards the Bitcoin side of the ledger. Bitcoin is definitely winning the battle, and you're seeing it at 50,000. And like I've said endlessly on this channel, I probably will say endlessly till I can't say endlessly anymore. Bitcoin will continue to go up no matter how high it goes. There's no number at which you can't buy Bitcoin. Now there is going to be a number, and I think it's probably coming here fairly soon, where people are getting a little scared of how much it's gone up. I'm a little scared of how much it's gone up. Especially, when a few months ago it was $3,000, $6,000 range. We hung out in that range for a long time. Then I saw $10,000 range, was in that range for a long time. Now all of a sudden it's like $50,000 range. So it's kind of like you get a little bit scared. But the problem is if the money gets taken out of Bitcoin, what do you do with it? I mean, you can play the Robin Hood game, like I was talking about the other night with the stocks. But now with social media and Wall Street bets, and the way people are able to accumulate funds by interacting with each other on Reddit forums and being able to basically have so much clout in the market that they can take down anybody, no matter how wealthy they are. A guy like these hedge fund managers, these billionaire guys, they can be taken down by a lot of people. You get enough people to form together as a unit. There's about nobody in the world that can stand up against them. That's why I think it's funny when a guy like Bill Gates stands there and tells everybody the way the world's going to operate. Yes, right. You just wait. I read the comments there, Billy boy. Keep on reading your comments, because you're going to find out real quick you're not the centralized world anymore. The decentralized world is starting to rise, and people like Gates, people like Buffett, people like these people are not been respected, and they're not going to be respected because people see them for what they really are, which is they're mega maniacs, or they're people that think that they have superior understanding more than anybody else, and they just think that they have, they've been so brainwashed all their lives that they're so bright that they really don't see who they are and see that everybody else looks at them and really kind of shakes their head about some of the stuff they say. Like with, Gates, man, the guy's about as phony as a $3 bill. I mean, I sit there and I watch the guy, and he's just phony. I mean, it's like I listen to this guy and I think, wow, man, that guy got really lucky, because he sure isn't very smart as far as the way he talked about stuff. He doesn't have a very good presence about him. He doesn't have a very sincere way about him. He doesn't have a way where it's very well trusted. So anyway, the decentralized world probably will start taking off here more, and things like that will start happening. But in the meantime, until something like that does, what else is there to buy? And I'm very skeptical of a lot of stuff running in the blockchain world. Very, very skeptical of a lot of stuff. I mean, I see a lot of stuff that's kind of utility, that's kind of built on interoperability, that is built by interconnectivity, and it's built on very slow speeds, and that has been talked about and talked about and talked about and talked about, but still hasn't materialized. I mean, even though you see some of these projects, I mean, someone wrote me about Cardano the other day. I mean, Charles Hawkinson, I've watched the guy, I've listened to him, I've liked him, I wondered about him. I know he's back in Colorado, that's where I used to live. But I've never seen Cardano running yet. I don't know what it does. I mean, I know what it does. I mean, it's a blockchain, but I've never seen it running. I mean, there's a lot of ideas like that. They just keep on going. XRP, I mean, they're in a lawsuit with the SEC. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, people talk to me about deals all the time. Somebody wrote me a big email the other day, and it gave me about 7 deals that they said, they kind of laughed at EOS. They said, well, EOS is a joke. Why don't you check out these other 7 deals? I opened the first one, it was Cardano. This is the very first person, he sent me something. He said, take a look at Cardano. I've been looking at Cardano for years. I probably listen to more Charles Hawkinson videos than anybody else. I listen to Charles Hawkinson talking about the election. I listen to Charles Hawkinson talk about everything in the world. But I haven't seen a Cardano blockchain run yet. You know, I know he was involved with Vitalik. I know the guy knows his stuff. I know he's a smart guy. But I haven't seen any of this stuff run yet. So I don't know. I mean, where are you going to go with this stuff? And Ethereum is another example. 2.0, where's it at? When is it going to be dedicated proof of stake? When is it going to start running at speeds that matches EOS? So when is all this stuff going to happen? I don't know. That's why I'm still with Bitcoin. And that's why I'm really still with EOS, because EOS is running and it is working and it is things are operating on it. And we are operating on it, on the EOS blockchain. We have an application called the Challenge application. We're in a 7th version of that application. 7 times we've changed it, re-released it. And we have got that right now to where it runs beautifully smooth. We're in test flight right now. If you want to help us out in test flight, just hit us up in the Telegram channel, and we'll give you a link, and you can beta test it with us. We're beta testing it right now. So I know it works. I know EOS is sitting on a bunch of Bitcoin. Probably one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world is Block One, connected to EOS. So these guys got a lot of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just, you know, I'm thinking maybe about $250,000 is when it's going to kind of start slowing down. So if you have a Bitcoin right now, you'll have about $250,000 here probably sometime within the next 12 months. At that time, I think maybe some people start getting scared, or maybe some other things, or maybe not. Maybe then it goes to 10 from 250 to 500 and 750 and $1 million. I mean, I do believe, you know, sometime in a pretty near future, you're going to see $1 million Bitcoin. I mean, why not? I mean, it's digital money, and it's store value, and it's taking the test of time. And everybody's tried to take it down. Nobody takes it down yet. And nothing else is working. Why not have Bitcoin continue to do what it does? Because Bitcoin's the only real, you know, proven store of value that digital universally used throughout the world. And it's starting to get a lot of attention by a lot of money. So it could go to $1 million easy. I mean, what would that be? You know, how many billion? I mean, it's still at $1 million, the amount of Bitcoin out there. You still would have a much smaller market cap than the equity markets or the derivative markets or these other markets. You'd be way below all that. So you would still have tons and tons of room for that, even at $1 million. So who knows? Maybe $10 million Bitcoin. I don't know. $1 million Bitcoin is kind of a mind blower, but I guess not so much of a mind blower when it's at 50,000 right now. A few months ago, it was at $3,000 or $4,000. So anyway, Bitcoin will continue to go up. So if you're sitting there and you're feeling like I didn't get in, get yourself a Coinbase account. I always recommend Coinbase. I like Coinbase. The reason I like Coinbase is it's just easy to use. And why make this thing more complicated? And if you're afraid that somehow you're going to get run down by, some entity that's going to out you as far as being a cryptocurrency person, you're probably going to have to rethink your thinking, because in the world of machine learning and in the world of bots and the world of AI, there's going to have to be a distinguishing between what is mechanical and not consciousness and is consciousness. I mean, and that's where we're getting to. We're going into this conscious, unconscious world. Either it's conscious or not conscious. And there's a lot of the trading out there right now is unconscious. It's AI, it's machine learning and stuff like that. So you're going to have to become a real human being, or you're not going to be able to trade. So you're going to have to be somewhat known by the intelligent world. So the intelligent world is going to have to be able to identify you as a human being and not a machine. So there's going to have to be some know your customer going on. You can't just be identity list forever, because for whatever reason you don't want to pay your taxes, or I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know why people do that. I mean, come on, hire yourself an accountant. You don't want to pay taxes, get yourself a good accountant. There's lots of ways. Lots of people make lots of money. Look at Donald Trump. Guy got all the way to be a president of the United States, fly around in his jet airplanes, build his hotels and his golf courses, and probably never paid a plug nickel's worth of taxes. Because if he did pay taxes, he would have been showing them off pretty much to everybody. He didn't want to show it off. And I don't know how true the reports are. I don't even follow it that closely. But it didn't sound like he paid a lot of taxes, if it was correct, which I don't know if it was or not. But yeah, I mean, quit being weird and thinking that you got to be anything that shows your identity to anybody else is going to lead to some sort of tyranny. I mean, we're going to have to, and it's not because I think that governments want to control you. I think it's more because we've got to identify the machines from the people, because we're kind of getting into that world. So I see it coming on. I see it coming on big time. So just get yourself a Coinbase account, throw yourself a couple $100 a month into it, $300, $400, $500 a month into it. Forget it's there. Just have an automatic withdrawal. I think they do that, where you can just automatically have a couple $100. In a few years you'll be pretty well set, in my opinion. And I think that's a pretty good plan. That's a better plan than anything else I can think of right now. Like I say, we are in version 7 of the challenge application. It's going very, very well. I think people are going to be real excited with what we've got, what we've done. We are running on the EOS blockchain. We may be running on Binance too. I don't know. We're working on it. We'll see what happens. We'd like to get traded on Binance. That's what we're really working on right now, is to be traded on Binance. So, and we have had some talks with them. So things are going really good as far as that stuff is concerned. And of course, as Bitcoin rises, the rest of the cryptocurrencies rise too. I just would like to see more happen, more actual promises fulfilled that are promised. Like Charles, I'd like to see you put your Cardano up and get it running. Let's check out that how fast it goes, how well it works, how many transactions you can handle. Let's see it happen. We've been hearing talk about a long time, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about some of these others. You can't just base a project on the fact that it goes up a few 100% every day. At some point, there's got to be some real world materializing of those ideas, and not a lot of that's going on right now. So we'll see. I mean, and like I say, you've got, and who knows what this Gensler guy is going to do, man. This is all a big, scary world as far as that's concerned. There's a lot of companies in 2017 that raised a lot of money from initial coin offerings. And if they start filing lawsuits right and left and start making these guys go back and kind of retrace their tracks to figure out what they're going to do about them, if they're security or not, that could shake up the world too. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And we know who the safe ones are. Bitcoin and EOS, they're the safe ones. Everybody else is not safe. And we know that straight from Gensler's mouth. He said that. He said that Bitcoin's safe. I don't consider Bitcoin a security, but I consider everything else a security, including Ethereum. So we'll see what happens. And I know, I started this channel 3 years ago, and I had the most hate that you could ever imagine from Ethereum people. I mean, they just dumped on me like nobody's business. So I'm not fighting Ethereum. I know that giant. That's a huge giant. So I'm not, and I see the way that's going up. Man, I see that Ethereum's going to the moon, you know, and I see everybody looking at EOS and saying, what's going on with EOS? There's nothing happening with EOS, and Ethereum's going to the moon. And I understand. I'm with you. But you know what? Everything eventually seeks its level. And when you have a blockchain that runs fast, you have a blockchain that doesn't have any regulation problems, you have a blockchain that's actually working and running to applications and dApps, of which we're doing right now, and a blockchain that owns a lot of Bitcoin, or has a partner that owns a lot of Bitcoin. I'd say you're in pretty familiar company, or pretty good company. So, like I say, scrape a few pennies off here and there, throw a little bit at EOS too, because I think that's a pretty good play myself. So, and if you really want to get a little bit risky, then try our challenge token. That's CHL on Nudex. That could be the one that could be the real runner if things start to work out. So, anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on. I like seeing Bitcoin over 50,000. I know a lot of people think it's a little rich for their blood, but I think we're just at the beginning phases. Like I say, the people that I know, the people that I talk to, they don't understand it. They don't ever understand it. They think it's just some sort of a crazy idea that doesn't work or doesn't have any value. I mean, if you don't go down and walk into the Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Chase Manhattan Bank, then I guess it's not real money. So I guess that's where we're at right now. We've got this war going on in society about what is money, and what is money in the future going to look like. So that's my opinion. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.